How long gone? It's a beautiful fall Sunday here in New York. The leaves are changing. Jason, I'm looking at the basketball court near my house, and I noticed something that, you know how skaters bring brooms to spots to kind of clean it up so they don't, hit their wheel on rock. Mm-hmm. A young Asian gentleman has brought a broom to the basketball court to get the leaves up for his fellow players, and I just wanted to say that's a nice touch. It's very nice. I didn't know people did that with basketball.
I thought you were going to go a different direction when you declared his race. I didn't know if it was going to be a certain kind of broom.
No, it's a all Asian game right now.
Okay.
The homies are going crazy.
It's too early for me to even try to say anything funny about that right now, but I'll circle back to it. I'm glad that the homies got a clean surface. I remember doing that after we played tennis after it rained or whatever. Gotta bring something out, clear out some of that water, some of that puddle action.
Just the idea of like a 17-year-old getting on the city bike with a giant fucking janitor-sized broom come down to the basketball
Sunday.
court is impressive.
Been waiting all week to hoop on Sunday.
That's true.
And there's leaves everywhere. It's creating a not awesome environment for balling.
That's the right thing to do.
That's the right thing to do. Yeah, fall is sort of fallen here. It's going to be 87 today. I'm sure it'll come down eventually. And I'm looking at right now. I got a check in the mail. One of those envelopes where they make you if you've ever received a class action lawsuit payment check, they sort of don't make it look like there's a check in there, you know what I mean? Like some envelopes, it's clear that this is a payroll processing thing. There's a clear window and it's giving check. And then these ones, not so much, but it's for being a Prius owner in 2000 and having a 2011 Prius, some random recall from forever ago. And I don't even know if I filled it out, but I just got a check for $352.
$300? Oh shit. Okay.
$352.
That's not bad. I thought you were going to hit me with the 30 cents. That $350, even if you opted in 10 years ago.
That's a car note on the Prius.
That pays for itself.
Back when car payments were $350.
I always thought those kind of things, unless I guess class action, I always assume it's split amongst so many people that the amounts are so small. But $350 is not bad.
And I don't remember what it's for. Maybe it was just, but it had me thinking about how back then when Larry David was driving the Prius and all that, it was really such a special time for somebody like me who could only afford a Prius and maybe couldn't even do that, but I had one. And driving around Los Angeles, Rodeo Drive or wherever it may be, and it was an equalizing vehicle. It was very Zoran. It was very socialista. It was millionaires have it and tens of thousandaires have it. Brad Pitt's driving one and your sister at college is driving the same exact one. It was a special time for broke hoes in LA, but now, but then I guess Tesla came around. Like the thought of having a Prius now, I don't even know. I don't even notice them on the road. You're like, oh yeah, Prius, that's funny.
Yeah, I sometimes the early movers are too early. Which feels like, but I feel like Prius had I bet they had a decade run of being kind of the only game in town
had a good run.
That looked drivable. I mean, when that ugly BMW came out.
Yeah.
The Tesla, though, I guess the Tesla, for whatever reason, was sort of viewed as high end, but it wasn't actually that expensive. If I remember, if I've never had one, obviously, but I feel
Prius 30, Tesla 40.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. But don't worry, I saw a giant Rivian dealership that opened up over in Chelsea, so it's you can spend $100,000 to
what neighborhood should we put the gayest car dealership in? Chelsea seems fitting.
I don't even think people care. I think when the Prius came out, people actually cared about the environment and thought they were part of the revolution. And now it's just, I think the Rivian is just another way to flex. I think it has nothing to do with saving the planet at all. I think it's just like an expensive car.
Oh, for sure. And it looks a little more round than others, and it doesn't signal Republican the way other trucks do. It signals liberal truck ownership.
I think it.
But I mean, a real conservative Republican.
Oh, you wouldn't
would
drive
never,
an electric car, of course not.
No.
But I feel like a Tacoma actually is the most liberal truck you can have.
Yeah, and it's also somehow the most Punisher skull truck you could have at the same time. Interesting.
No,
those
true.
Japanese homies over there.
I mean, that's good for Toyota. They got the lock on the market.
They're playing both sides of that coin, but it had me wondering, since Tesla is in such a downturn, will we see a rise of the Prii? Because everyone is like, oh, the Teslas, there's a zillion reasons why people are not into Teslas right now, and it's not doing well. Is this the time where the Prius can come back and say like, hey guys, it's a hybrid?
No.
You go to the gas station, you spend $50 on gas a month, and we get 60 mpg, 70 mpg, whatever. It's a regular car. No one's going to fucking throw their milkshake at it in the parking lot. A grandma's not going to key it. No one's going to abuse your Prius. You're able to just be a normal person again and get amazing mileage and never have to worry that your charging station at the mall is full. And, maybe the Prius is going to be dope again. Make Prius dope again.
We've moved past it. And I think people only buy anything for a status symbol now. Like, I don't think there's I don't think anybody would, like, they also, maybe because it's not full electric, it feels like a half step, like I'd rather.
But I'm saying a half step is maybe the right amount of steps. Maybe the full,
I would say no step. No step is drive a car that uses gas like a normal person, so you don't have to pull over to the side of the road and plug it in like a fucking,
that's the Prius
curling iron. It's a fucking nightmare. It's a nightmare.
Like a curling iron. But okay. I don't know what I'm going to spend this money on yet. We'll see. Watch this space.
You have to blow it. You know that.
Of course.
Okay.
I mean, I guess it paid for my meal last night at Muse, Santa Monica, just next door to Giorgio Baldi, right on the sea.
Why didn't you go to Giorgio Baldi?
Giorgio Baldi did not offer me a table, and their PR company did not encourage me to come visit in with the chef at Giorgio Baldi.
So you're saying you came to go visit at a restaurant no one's ever heard of, and you still paid for it?
No, a lot of people have heard of it. It's a very tough to get table, expensive, fancy restaurant.
How do you spell it?
Muse, like the band.
Oh, wow. Interesting choice. I would have gone MEWS personally, but I guess
you would have done MEWS for a coastal cuisine fine dining restaurant. That's smart.
I guess neither of them feel coastal cuisine fine dining restaurant, but that's maybe the point. It's supposed to confuse you before you get there, but it was good.
Ooh, confuse the palate. Yeah, to me it was there's a lot of similarities to the food of Le Vaudor, but not the room and not the service and everything. Completely different, but food-wise it was similar, where it's like Frenchy meets a little Italian, a lot of sauces and classic things going on, but with a new modern twist. I like the food. It was good. Heard some the pastry program, maybe the best in the city right now. Wild shit.
What from the pastry program jumped out at you?
One of everything. It's all like French stuff that I couldn't really figure out. But I mean, for one example, the brioche that they bring out at the beginning of the meal, it was like somewhere between a bread and a croissant with a little French Bordeaux butter and sea salt, and the butter is warmed up and whipped, but it's sitting on a little cold stone, so it's like,
oh, that's nice.
So it doesn't melt.
So it's not runny.
It's not
exactly.
Runny.
It's just warm. That's very nice.
It stays soft and room temp, but it doesn't get all runny and melty. But yeah, and then you open up and it's like this piece of bread that also has like flakiness like a croissant.
Oh.
And it's just like crunches into these shards, and then you don't need to pour butter on it because it's already a fucking croissant basically. But
sure, there's enough butter going on already.
Like, sweet God Almighty, it was good. But I would never order a chocolate tart, for example, as a dessert at a restaurant.
It's a pretty classic dessert.
It is, but I never ever want like a chocolate dessert. Really, I usually go fruity or milky or something like that. But it was probably my favorite bite. And they serve it with the gelato that is made with all the leftover brioche at the end of service.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
They break all that brioche down, mix it into the vanilla gelato, do a couple scoops of that on top of the chocolate tart with a layer of caramel. And
Stop.
Mamma mia.
I forgot we went to Cafe Chelsea last night before seeing some modern dance, and which was actually good. I feel really weird about it. We can talk about it, but
okay.
I forget that they have the Ferrero Rocher ice cream at Cafe Chelsea, which obviously I didn't get, but that's a very special ice cream, and it took everything in my power not to order it.
I think I've had it before at like some type of European gelato stand.
Definitely. It's fucking
Gilding
good.
the lily. I'm into it though, as long as it's a correct ratio of
Delicious.
Rocher
Delicious.
to vanilla. Yeah, I had my Gelson's supermarket activation party last week. Shout out to our friends that came and Flash Food. It was cool being in a supermarket where normally people go and like watch the football game or the Dodgers or Lakers or whatever, and seeing all these people who go to a supermarket to do that get turned away at the door because it's a private party, like we're in a nightclub kind of thing.
Because you're saying, because Gelson's has these wine bars, correct? So you're not talking, they could still go hit the frozen food aisle if they needed some essentials.
The entire supermarket is available to them except for the beer and wine bar.
Okay. So the beer, it's not, okay. Smart for Gelson's not to have full alcohol. I feel like that could get ugly.
Exactly.
I think let's keep it low alcohol if we can. Okay.
It could attract a certain crowd.
Was there a doorman for the bar at Gelson's, or was it just a PR chick with like a clipboard?
I would say leaning more on the PR chick with the clipboard.
Okay, good. I think a security guard would be too imposing at the grocery store. That's a little too far.
But people really take their supermarket drinking seriously. I did not know that, but man, oh man. And then the other Gelson's in Silver Lake, apparently they have a Monday through Friday standing Jeopardy watch reservation. I think friend of the show, Rory Phillips, might have an involvement with it somehow, but apparently this group of people, they show up 7 p.m. on the dot, Monday through Friday, whatever's going on. I was the GM of Gelson's was telling me this, like Laker games on, Dodger games on, presidential debate, grab the remote, Jeopardy. He said unless it's like a World Series or like the Super Bowl, we're watching Jeopardy. And every single person has their designated stool that they sit on at the bar. The bartender knows everyone's order because you can't really talk because everyone is silently watching Jeopardy.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. And I was like, so what is the system for, do people just watch it and enjoy it? Or is there like does somebody raise their hand if they have the answer? Or like, how do they compete?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh no, everyone just yells it. It's just people yelling the answer the whole time.
For some
cool.
reason, because of the way you explained it, it made it feel like these people took it really seriously. And I guess yelling out the answer is the way to take it seriously, but it does feel a little disorganized, I would say.
But I mean, there's no other way to do it. I mean, we're not going to get a buzzer system going at the supermarket and then like pause the game.
I mean, hey, if we got a wine bar going at the supermarket, I feel like a buzzer system is not that crazy.
I guess so.
To so far off. What was the offering? What was the offering at this?
Oh yeah,
event?
so.
Like, what were you giving people to get them to hang out in a grocery store?
Okay, great question, Chris. First, in addition to the miniature Gelson's tote bags and bottles of wine, floral displays, and things like that, fun little moments, I went to the Gelson's like the week before. I went over to the Real, dropped off a fat load, and then came over to Gelson's.
Oh, which location? Which location was it? The one on Santa Monica?
No, it's Franklin Beechwood.
Oh, the Beechwood. Okay, that's
Beechwood.
what I thought. Okay.
Because they have the biggest bar. They have an outdoor patio that connects to the bar that overlooks the parking lot and the other parking lot. But it is like a very booming, hot parking lot.
Oh, it's popping. No, that fucking Gelson's is popping. That's one of the busiest grocery stores I've ever been into.
And it's across the street from the Oaks Gourmet and La Poubelle, and so even though it was a weeknight at 6 p.m., it shit looked like the club. Rich, hot people jaywalking everywhere and doing things like that. But I went over the week before to just get my Thomas Keller at the farmer's market on, just smoke a little something and walk around with my hands behind my back, studying what was available.
Jason, I ran into you at Gelson's on a Tuesday and you were wearing chef's whites. Could you explain yourself?
Wearing chef's whites, smelling an Asian pear. But like the party, we did the party with the company called Flash Food, and they offer these like CSA style boxes with produce just from supermarkets. So they're like, we have a surplus of whatever it is, oranges and Asian pears and white asparagus and Japanese sweet potatoes, whatever. And you get a fat ass box of it for $9. But so they were encouraging me to offer some winter produce, citrus and things like that. I made Contramar tostadas out of their poke bar tuna kind of thing. I made some little mini Iverglass style hippie sandwiches. We did some classic gluten-free Chex Mix. We did some, the Rain Coast crisp crackers, the expensive ones. Smear a little Meredith dairy on top of there.
Are those offered in versions that don't have any? Don't they have fruit in them?
You can get them. You can get them regular, and you can get them gnarly. Okay. Yeah, sometimes they can get a little too fruity, huh?
I just, it's hard for me to kind of combine a cracker and a fruit.
I don't need a whole cranberry in my mouth while I'm crunching down.
I love cranberries, actually. Weirdly, I love cranberries, but only raw. I only want ocean spray to the dome, handful style, like peanuts.
Chris, I want a little spray to the dome. Copy that.
Just one second.
But Meredith dairy, it's like a goat cheese that comes in a glass jar. So it's submerged in olive oil. It's expensive a little bit. It's a chefy gourmet kind of treat. But if you ever see it, I think it's Australian goat's milk. But a little bit of that on top of that, a little slice of Asian pear and a little fried sage on top. And then we did some little sushi rolls as well, some blue crab California rolls, and then some winter veg sushi rolls like kabocha squash, bits and bobs, things like that, asparagus, whatever.
Seen a lot of squash lately.
It's squash time right now.
That sounds like a decent spread. Did anybody get too drunk?
Probably just me.
Okay.
And then also vegetable crudités and little dips and chips and things like that. It was dope, but it was cool, just being in a patio at a supermarket at night, just drinking wine out of a Gelson's wine glass.
So they've got their like Love is Blind style custom glasses. Is it just logo regular wine glass, or is it frosted? Okay.
No, it's kind of frosted on.
Okay. All right. Nice. Okay.
If a couple of those wine glasses went missing with some slippery fingers,
you would
apologize, Mr. Gelson.
Why did Jason bring a LL Bean double XL tote to his activation? I guess he needed he needed 12 new Gelson's wine glasses for the house.
I brought a lot of those boxes that have 12 little holes in it and a bunch of tissue paper. I don't know why he needed that.
And I love the idea.
I brought over the Christmas ornament carrying case and just start putting wine glasses in there.
Walking into a Gelson's plan to shoplift with just tissue paper to protect all the glass that you're going to take.
I only steal very fragile things.
I was able to get some pickles as well since I had the paper on me. It was easy just to kind of wrap everything up and keep it moving.
But yeah, Gelson's, I know you're listening. You should sell those Gelson's wine glasses. That would be a Christmas holiday
I can't believe
item.
They don't. That seems crazy.
That would really move off the shelves. We'll keep stealing them until you sell them. That's just the way things go over here.
That's surprising to me they don't sell them. It feels like a very easy opportunity. But maybe I also like the resistance.
This is why Gelson's activates though.
We don't need Gelson's to make hats and tote bags. You know what I mean? It's like for sale. It's we're past the point of that.
Less hats, more tote bag. Just supermarket.
Oh, you use it. I guess that's
let's
true.
move on from food though. I don't want to alienate our Ozempic listeners or our non-gourmands. What do you want to talk about? We got plenty to talk about, don't we?
I watched some Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction clips this morning after I watched the worst episode of Saturday Night Live's Somber and Nikki Glazer. Nikki Glazer's monologue might have been the worst I've ever seen. I've watched all of them. It might be the worst I've ever seen. Am I crazy, or was that actually the worst you've ever seen?
It was, and it wasn't because of her being bad, I guess. I think it was just simply because...
Then what possibly could the reason be?
Because if she's a very successful, talented stand-up comedian, very good, people, whenever they're doing the celebrity roasts, she's
good at roasting.
She's often
very good at roasting.
The number one person. But I think that her subject matter leans a little too dark and a little too edgelordy and a little too, I don't know, Tony Hinchcliffe-y kind of vibe for the SNL somber crowd, room full of people who are teenage girls, and they're not going to want to hear.
Isn't her job to know that and then act accordingly so it's successful?
Yeah. For sure. I mean... I got a couple chuckles here and there, but...
Making a spray tan joke and then saying your leg has a Mexican name is like... pretty. I don't think that's edgy. That's just bad. I just
She went from self-deprecating to, which you sort of is the only card you can really play in somebody like her situation, an attractive millionaire blonde white woman. You can't start with the self-deprecation and then move into just regular old racism. And
I've seen her be really funny before, and I thought usually, but the other thing is they give these comedians too long. They give them too much rope for the monologue. It's like, we don't need 10 minutes. Give her Miles Teller time. Let's get 3 minutes. Let's get 3 minutes. There's less time to fuck up. Like, this ain't the Comedy Store. It's all good.
But Chappelle usually delivers, though. He's only missed once or twice.
I mean, I could never hear about Dave Chappelle again as long as I live. But yeah, I mean, giving him 20 minutes to smoke a cigarette is fine, I guess. He's earned it.
But he'll have a overarching thing that he's trying to do, and he'll go back and through and around and tie it all up in the end with an inspirational moment and drop the mic, and everyone's like, damn, he killed it, fam. And then Nikki Glaser was more of like, Epstein pedophile, child trafficking pedophile.
I forgot about the child trafficking part.
And it gets things off to an unusual start.
That sets a tone. That sets a tone. Yeah, sure. That sets a tone. Actually, I read a long story in the New York Times Magazine yesterday about trafficking, so I'm kind of up on it. If you
oh really?
If I'm not going to work it into my material, but it is a problem in the Los Angeles area. Specifically, a one stretch of road, which was funny to learn. But anyway,
what road is that?
It's
and I would love to know what's funny about that.
Is it Figueroa? I can't remember. It's like South Central, but it's like quite a long stretch. It's like a 50-block radius, is how they were describing it.
Okay,
which seems like a very long way, but I guess maybe it's not. 50 blocks? That seems pretty far.
It does seem pretty far, yeah. But I mean, Figueroa, you can go from First Street. And if you keep driving south
all the way
to Long Beach, you get into the 200s,
Yeah, that's true. I guess you're right.
Go up.
I didn't, but the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame clips, I saw Feist and Olivia Rodrigo doing a White Stripes song, and it was good. Like, Feist has clearly played a lot of acoustic guitar in her life and had like a cool one that had clearly been on the road for 20 years. And Olivia Rodrigo's looked like she'd hit Guitar Center an hour before the ceremony,
straight off the wall.
And but it looked like, I think Feist also has one that's like slightly smaller than the normal size, so it looks more appropriate on her frame. And Olivia Rodrigo had the same one that fucking Jelly Roll's using, so it kind of ate her up a little bit. They sounded good though, but and then Tyler the Creator did Bombs Over Baghdad, and it was very, very good. I was very impressed.
He did a good job. He did a
very good job. I was super impressed. And I mean, I think that he is such a great performer who makes music I don't want to listen to. So this was a nice chance for him to shine over. That might be
once Tyler starts doing covers, suddenly he's pretty good.
That might be my favorite Outkast song. I realized when he was doing it. But
did he do both parts, Big Boy and Andre?
I only saw like a minute and a half of and it seemed like he did all of it at the beginning. I missed Janelle Monáe's and Doja Cat, I believe, who were also involved, but I just think it's so cool that Andre 3000 was there and was just like sitting there watching it. Had no interest in actually performing, which is powerful.
I didn't even know this was a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you said?
Yeah, it's like the inductions. I mean, I think this year they did a better job of like, maybe not promoting it is the wrong word, but like the talent wise, like it feels relatively current and interesting, and the clips are online so people watch it.
Right. It wasn't like White Snake.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Toto.
Yeah, Outkast and like Soundgarden are a little more contemporary, I think, than it can be sometimes.
It wasn't Gene Simmons and the Jay Giles Band, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, exactly. One more time. But once again, enemy of the show, Brandi Carlile, was carted out to do a Soundgarden Black Hole Sun, which is just like, I don't even know, man. I don't care about Soundgarden. Like, I don't think they're cool or not cool. It's just something that existed at it was so popular when we were younger. Like, I know the words to every one of those singles without ever pushing play on it myself. You know what I mean? And I just can't. We can't have Brandi Carlile doing that. I don't know who the right person is, but it ain't her.
To do Black Hole Sun, Cameron Winter, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Dude, if I have to Dude, there's this. I've been seeing these tweets about this guy who's got like a cool granddad, or maybe it's a girl who has a cool granddad, and he's texting her about. He texted her about Snowcap, saying Waxahachie, Waxahachie and MJ Linderman rebranded. It's pretty good. And then he posted, a picture of himself watching the Geese Zane Lowe interview on his couch. But he's like a 65-year-old.
This
man.
is a little Chris Black. This is your future.
Yeah, you couldn't get me to watch a Zane Lowe interview in full on the TV, but otherwise, yes, I think
I saw some clips of that Geese interview, and it was really funny seeing Geese in high definition 4K, the Apple cameras system or whatever, and just seeing these guys.
Dude, I kind of fucked.
It was really funny because normally in that lighting, in that situation with those filterings and color processings, you just expect to see like Carol G or Halsey, just these people who are like done up and larger than life and full glam all the time. And just to see these, 4 kids who just woke up, just sitting there with sunglasses on and shitty clothes, smelling bad. It felt AI generated almost, but I did not watch it.
Kind of like what they were saying almost didn't matter. Like the presence alone was so. What you're describing is so strong that I think it was just an iconic moment. Yeah, it was like the one guy wearing the bug eye sunglasses that are like take up half of his face.
Wearing the Dandy Warhols.
Yes, he was wearing the Dandy Warhols. But I was like, you know what? I just can't believe. I can't believe the talk around this. It's a once in a lifetime insane moment for a band that sounds like this to get this popular.
Yeah,
and I think it can only exist. Why do you think it's so like memeable? Like I don't know what it is exactly, because there's a lot of bands like them that are good and successful in a lot of ways.
It's a good question. I think this is like, I don't know. It's like the first coming of like Arcade Fire meets maybe when Radiohead, like Kid A and Arcade Fire, like that kind of vibe where if you're a certain age, there really is a paradigm shift, not to use that phrase, but
no, you're right.
This is the first time people of a certain age are experiencing music that sounds like this, and it's being served to them by the algorithm, not because your friend's cooler older sister took you to the record store and said, here's this band called Royal Trucks or whatever it is. It's more so just like I opened my phone and then now there's this guy screaming insane shit over like a atonal jazz record, and now everything I knew about, I was listening to Chappell Roan and Rose featuring Bruno Mars yesterday, and now I'm listening to this, and it sounds like
revelatory.
I'm in another world.
Yeah, it is, and you're absolutely right about that, and that's part of the reason I like it so much. But I guess it's also just one of those things that's very, very popular, but also very, very polarizing. And I think people hear it and they're like, I hate like immediately hate it. It's a love or hate thing within 30 seconds, which is I think that's powerful as far as getting the dialogue going online.
Yeah. I mean, because even though we'll see these amazing videos of them performing, and it's like in a church, and it's just this amazing, I'm listening to it, and it's like I'm being born again. Existential moment.
Yeah.
And then other songs is just like a guy screaming some shit, like Death Grips kind of stuff. So if you got to catch it at the right time.
Depending on what you like, you absolutely have to catch it at the right time.
Yeah.
I guess we didn't talk about the Grammy nominations, but I'm of course disappointed to see so much Kendrick Lamar in there, but it has to be expected.
Also, I feel like that record was on the last. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like that song and that record has been
I think
for so long. It feels like we're past that cycle by now. But who knows?
This is how it always works. It's like I think it's a September to September. I think is the window. But yeah, I didn't really nothing. I didn't see anything super exciting or unexpected. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I think it was sort of
I guess the record came out a year ago, in November 2024.
It's like the perfect, perfect amount of time. But yeah, I guess I was expecting to see something a little more exciting. Just, like a left field.
Why?
because sometimes there's a left field surprise in one of the categories. You know what I mean? If you like get in there, sometimes you're like, oh, that's interesting that so and so got nominated.
Well, the only like out of the albums of the year, there's somebody named Leon Thomas, and the record's called Mutt, and I'm assuming he's just a giant country music star that I've never heard of.
No. Leon Thomas is an R&B singer. It's huge.
Okay.
I only know about this. I only know about Leon Thomas from listening to Joe Budden. That's not an exaggeration. I've never seen it anywhere. I've never heard it anywhere. I've just heard them talk about it. But Mutt is giving country music. You're not crazy for thinking that after reading the title.
Okay. I pulled up Mutt by Leon Thomas, produced by D. Phelps and Freaky Rob.
I like that. Freaky Rob, that's cool.
The chorus is, "Take your time, what's the rush? Baby, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt."
That's good stuff.
Okay.
That's kind of flames.
He said, "I can't smoke on Reggie, so pardon my bluntness."
Ooh. Okay, get him.
Yeah, I guess this is a little kind of co-worker middle school music, I'm assuming, just by looking at it. Never going to listen to it.
I don't think it is. I think it's like sort of, I mean, I'm sure it is that because it's so popular, but I also think it's sort of like old head, like real R&B. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, he is 32. Wow.
Yeah. It's not. That's what's interesting about it is that it like.
So this is going to have a neo soul flavor to it, perhaps.
I think it could. Yes, I think it could. I just think that it's like I appreciate when something like that gets nominated for a Grammy because it's actually doing real shit, and it's. It's like we don't even know about it.
Okay, never mind.
Because it's not for us. You know what I mean?
Leon, you're cool. I shouldn't have judged your song based only on the lyrical content, and I'm sure you're, making that Strat sing.
Yeah,
I think he already has Grammys as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Happy for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I mean, the Grammys are truly don't matter at all anymore, it seems.
But no award. People always say
we got K-pop demon hunters, and
people always say this, but what award does matter then? Like that's what I don't understand. When people say that, I'm like, all right, well then I guess none of it matters, which is fine. It doesn't. I think it matters if you win as a personal victory. I don't know what. I guess what I'm saying is when it mattered, what did that mean? Like when you say something doesn't matter. When it mattered, I don't know if it felt any different, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, I guess the Grammys have always been the enemy, and it's always been a little controlled by the powers that be and not necessarily, I guess with movies, you feel like the Academy, it's being judged on by your peers and not just Jimmy Iovine saying, like, this year we're going to do Dijon, okay? So it feels like if there was like if Will Welch did a little Pitchfork Awards and they did not just indie but just all music, but the thing is it was mixed in with it wasn't just only Sabrina Carpenter, Bad Bunny, Lady Gaga, all that stuff. It was like truly anyone and everything. It's 1-0 Tricks Point Never going up against Cat's Eye for best soundtrack cut of the year, whatever it is, you know what I mean? It's not just somber one.
But these are voted on by people that make the music. It's not like it is quote unquote the powers that be.
So the Grammys does that too as well.
Yeah. The Grammys is voted on by like people who are eligible because they're in the business which means, obviously a lot of things.
I guess I did know that and I forgot, but you get the feeling that that's just like a formality thing that they do for fun. And it's not really, there isn't like a governing board who's really they're deciding who's going to win stuff and who's going to be nominated.
I don't believe that actually. I think that there's enough bad people in the music business that vote for the stuff.
Okay, well then
bad.
maybe we need to not have it be voted on by a group of your peers, and it has to be voted on by people who have been deemed essential gatekeepers and smarter, knowledgeable people.
Well, then
about whatever it is.
The Pitchfork put out like a list of the best 100 rap albums or whatever, and it was voted on by like the readers, and it was laughably bad compared to what it would be. Like you can't win. That's the thing. It's like
I guess you can't win.
You can't win. But I also just think that this award show thing is. Obviously it's all meaningless, but like can't something just be fun and feel good to be recognized? Like I don't know why people act like it's some like you have to like stand up against it like it's bad. Do you understand? Like, it's not. I don't think
like why Drake keeps boycotting it every year.
Yeah, like if you're taking it that seriously, you care more than the people who win. To me, like that feels like a doth protest too much kind of situation to me. I don't know. I'm just like, dude, who cares? Put on a tuxedo and go win your award. Who gives a fuck? Like, I don't know why it's that big of a deal.
Yeah, Rosalia, put on your weird robe and get out there and get your Grammys.
I love watching people pretend they like that shit. Oh man, that's been a highlight of my week.
It's 10 out of 10 everywhere, bro.
10 out of 10 for people who are lying to seem smart. That shit is unlistenable. I mean, actually, no, it's not unlistenable. It's very listenable. I don't ever want to listen to it, if that makes sense.
Where are the songs at?
There ain't no songs. I just don't understand who this is for necessarily, besides like showing
put some on with the guitar.
Do you think it's like I'm trying to show how musical I am and how my range is so incredible and the songs don't matter? Or do you think this is something that I just don't understand?
She said, take your time, what's the rush? I said, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. She said, take your time, what's the rush? I said, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. I'm a dog, I'm a mutt.
I think it's both. I think it's literally 50% right down the middle, both. I think that there are a lot of people who are like, I'm supposed to like this music because it's going to make me the person that I would like to be in the world. And then there's just your hard-headedness and closed-mindedness of not letting the music take over your body, and that's okay. I feel that same way about many artists, and you do as well. You're just not going to do it. It's just never going to cross the line.
Like I don't understand if her audience is liking this because they like it or because they've dedicated so much to liking her that they feel like they have to. Do you know what I mean? When an artist puts out a challenging album, I feel like the diehards are forced to. I mean, this happened. This happens with a lot of people. This happened
Fetch
with
the bolt cutters.
Yeah. Like this happened with. I mean, that's how people were talking about Tame Impala and Lord too. It was a similar thing. Like some people loved it, some people hated it, and it was like. But with that level of fandom, and I'm sure Rosalia has this. There's also because I've seen people like talk about it. They like struggle because they really, really want to like it. And they really want to find a way, so they usually can if the desire is there. If like I really want to like this, so I'm going to try until I do, which I respect as a fan. But this will not be gracing my Sonos anytime soon.
Do you think people are doing that with Geese?
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I think Geese is also like, I mean, I would say depending on your palate, Geese is just as hard to digest as this Rosalia.
Yeah, I would agree so.
Definitely. I don't think that's. I think Rosalia. I think that the Rosalia musically, it's like the talent is pretty clear and amazing, and she's captivating, and the artwork is everything's good about it. It's just not music that I just don't know when you put this on.
It's just I think it boils down to everyone has a different idea of what beautiful is to them, and that's just what it is.
I think it can be beautiful and also unlistenable, which might sound crazy, but like I think there's a lot of I just don't know if I think you set your audience up to think you're one thing and you go another direction, which you have every right to do, but I don't know if you can expect them to follow you into the fire if it's this challenging.
I guess the last time this happened and you had the same situation was like Frank Ocean.
Yeah.
Which I think is almost 10 years old. Isn't that crazy? But that's another album where it's either like this is God's prophecy being shot down into my Honda Civic, or somebody like you where it's like there's no songs here. This is a collection of.
He's got some ideas. There's some ideas in here. There's some voice notes you sent your producer. I mean, I always said that about Frank Ocean. When Frank Ocean made songs, he had some fucking slaps. The one with the car on the front. That shit has songs.
Channel Orange. That's it's good that we do a podcast together because I'm the exact opposite. I thought that was really dumb and stupid. And then I understood him more when it was Blonde because it wasn't him trying to make songs, it was him trying to make art. Not to sound gay.
What he considers art. I mean that the video of
and everyone else in the world.
I just think people want to like stuff, and I do too. Like I'm the same way. Like if somebody I love puts something out that feels challenging to me, I am definitely going to put in more effort to try to understand it. That's not, you know what I mean? That's what we all do, I think.
People want to like Timothy Chalamet on the cover of Vogue floating in space.
I mean,
with some embroidered denim.
Some of the worst pictures I've ever seen. And I'm an Annie Leibovitz apologist normally. But the discourse online is it's time to take her camera away, which is really funny. But I heard from a source that cover image was not in space when it was made. that was not communicated. I'm saying they didn't take a spaceship.
Okay, so they didn't take the Mars rover up. You mean that it was shot on a white backdrop or whatever, and everyone just said this is going to be a cool portrait, and then after the fact they're like, maybe we will drop him in space and he's going to be standing on top of Jupiter instead of a cyc wall.
Yes. I think that decision was made after the fact, and maybe some people involved in the making of that image were not alerted to that fact. And that's
so funny of all the people too. They're like, Annie Leibovitz, we love your pics or whatever. You've been killing it. We are going to think, how do you feel about this? We're going to Photoshop him into floating in space.
No, Jason. No. I think it was her idea. That's the fucked up part. That's why we got to take her camera away. And
take
not
that Leica away.
I don't think she knows how to use whatever program is required to do that kind of work.
Sure.
But there's a staff. There's a staff that can take care of that. But those are rare. I mean, Timmy can sort of do no wrong, and I think this is another illustration of that because I think he came out unscathed pretty much. And they're blaming, they're instead blaming her.
They're blaming the new editor of Vogue.
Yeah, which is also, I don't think they're saying it's Anna's last issue. So I think that and Annie Leibovitz it's tough to watch. I mean, it's like the Patti Smith memoir. It's like her 5th memoir. Patti Smith has absolutely ruined her legacy, and Annie Leibovitz is doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like when you look at that Annie Leibovitz book that came out a couple years ago, there's so much fucking heat in it. It's crazy. Like, it was so good for so long. Like a run, multi-decades of beautiful pictures. And it's just like, man, some things happen and it don't work no more.
We Guns N' Roses made Appetite, Lies, Spaghetti Incident, Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. But Duff McKagan keeps cranking out shitty solo records. He doesn't know when to hang up the top hat.
It's the same, but it's tragic. It really is. But I think that I don't think the Ping Pong movie is going to be affected.
No. So I don't think so either.
It's a W for Big Tim.
No. Everyone says it's a great film. Can't wait to see it.
I'm sure it is.
Well, I guess speaking of things that people automatically want to dislike, not like our Geeses and our Rosalias, did you like I Love LA featuring Rachel Sennett?
I did really like it. Yeah. I finally watched it. We watched it on Friday night. I really liked it. I think it's the exact I like the subject matter. Like, I like how current it is and how it feels. The thing that felt the least real was Jordan Firstman wearing a circle jerk shirt. That wasn't believable to me. Everything else very believable.
But he would wear that in real life too, not knowing what it was and just saying like, "Oh wait, I do that sometimes,"
that's true.
And not knowing it's a band.
I thought it was a celebration of the act. You're saying it's a punk band?
A celebration of the act.
I did like it though. I'm excited. I like that it's.
I'm sure Keith Morris was stoked when his kid sent it to him or whatever.
I like that it's coming out weekly too.
The way a good HBO show should, and hopefully it stays very of the now, the way Entourage seemed to do, where whatever was happening in real life is happening, a month or two behind on HBO. But I also liked it, obviously, me being an influencer who lives on the east side of Los Angeles. It is a show that's sort of meant for me to watch, even though I'm double the target age demographic.
I just think that I don't understand the discussion about that online too is like psycho. Like, I don't understand. Just the way they talk about Rachel is, obviously we're biased, we're friends with her, but it's insane. Like, people are just like, what has she ever done that's good? And it's like, I think all of her work is actually kind of critically acclaimed historically. It's like, you might not have liked it, but it's not like I think that every show like this will forever be compared to Girls, which
course.
for whatever and Girls is a great show, but I think for whatever reason right now it's also considered the bar of any show that could ever exist that's even remotely close to this world. And I just think times have changed, and that's not necessarily that fair of a comparison after one episode.
What I like about it is that it's a show where a bunch of people were like, what if we made a funny show that was entertaining to watch every Sunday night, like how HBO has been doing for decades.
Yeah,
instead of like, what is the message? Is there going to be a happy ending at the end? And is everything okay? And is there a classic arc like we're going to see on Abbott Elementary where something bad happens and then something at the end is good and we play sappy music? You know, like what if it was just funny to watch and it's not like a thought starting essay?
The sleeper star is Leighton Meester as like the boss.
Yeah, I mean she knows that character. She is that character.
She's so good, so good. Love to see her back.
Yeah, hopefully she's in it more. But yeah, well done, Rachel. I found myself chuckling and giggling the whole time. Who else has snuck in Tenants of the Trees roofie joke
That's powerful
onto prestige television?
Speaking of being for you, yeah, that's a powerful. that's
yeah, Chris.
really
I too have been
powerful.
roofied there.
No,
Thank you for that.
I don't. I just mean you've spent a lot of time there.
Yeah, don't. That almost makes it worse. No, I'm just saying, man. You just spent a lot of time there.
I'm just saying you like kicked it there quite a lot.
Yeah, you just kicked it like kind of at the end of the bar and just kind of.
You just kind of sat on a stool for like hours and hours. I don't know.
You always had this like dropper in your pocket. I don't know what it was. I don't know. Let's see. I was reading Chris's Pulling Weeds, the rise of monitoring film statistics and data versus just enjoying. First of all, well done. I thought it was well written. You're improving as a writer every month. But a quote stuck out to me: "Let's just enjoy stuff while we still can." And I wanted you to expand on that anymore. Are you foreshadowing?
No. I just think
a dark demise in our near future.
I think the more stuff we get, the larger percentage of it is bad. You know, just history. If we're gonna get 100% of shit, 89% of it's gonna be bad, and we're only gonna keep getting more. Even if it's the humans doing it or the robots doing it, it doesn't make a difference. So I just think that because it's also that was sort of like I do that in my own ways. Like I think we all do it in our own ways because we have access to the data and it's tough to ignore it because it's fed to us, But like with music, I've made a point to never look at Spotify numbers. Because I'm just like, I don't care.
Well, I think it's mainly because you don't have Spotify because you think it looks ugly. But I
do have Spotify. I pay for Spotify every month. I have it. If I wanted to look at it, I could. I have Spotify and Apple.
Yeah, but you're vocally against it, and you are always an Apple. If Apple Music had the stats for each song on it, would you choose to have that hidden, or would you let it rock?
I mean, is there an option to hide that on Spotify?
I don't think so, but just
that's a good idea.
Hypothetical. It's not.
I'm just that's why
go
I
invisible mode. Well, I was thinking that a part of that is now that we're in sort of like a classic or trash society, or an F, marry, kill. There's no real ability to have like any nuance or subtlety in between and talk about it. So because it's more work, and I think most people just want to kind of, they don't have enough attention span to really talk about the music or the art or whatever. And it's so much easier to just move that into the pile of good or bad based on
totally
based on the box office scores. Like I'm only going to go see it if a bunch of other people saw it. So then, what does that mean?
I think it's also these industries are what people fantasize about being part of, and it's like it feels, you know what I mean? It's like it's like these are it feels so far away because it's like celebrity driven. So it doesn't. I don't know. I think it's like easy. Like this is what people do with the stock market, but there's no. To me, that's literally numbers. You know what I mean? Where this is not that. This is stuff that's supposed to make you feel something and is not you know what I mean? And it's like not actually numbers based. Like I've been looking at the Billboard charts since I was buying like Rolling Stone in middle school and it had it in the back.
Yeah.
You know, like I look at it, like of course I read all this stuff, I care, but it's also just like
You like the stats, you're interested in seeing it, but you don't use it as your sole.
yeah, imagine if you use that as the barometer. I'm going to be listening to K-pop Demon Hunters. If that's the road you want to go down, it can get dark. But I think that there's
Shout out to Matt Bellany.
But that's the thing. It's not Matt. It's like that's their job. They're informing an industry. But I think what it's happened is the data has gotten so it's penetrated every part of our lives. We're like 14-year-old. Like I said in the story, like 14-year-olds are like posting screenshots of Ticketmaster sales for the. It's crazy. It's like imagine being that age and that's what you're concerned with. Not can I go to the show? Can I get a ticket? Will my mom let me go? You know, it's like that's what's crazy to me.
Yeah, I guess I think as we all have crippling anxiety and attention deficit disorders, it has sort of become more fun to organize things into piles rather than discuss them. You know what I mean? Our animal lizard brain wants to just categorize things and move things around and put square pegs in square boxes, and instead of being like, hey, what do you think about this movie?
Well, I wish I didn't. I mean, yeah, I wish there was stuff I didn't know. You know, like I wish there was.
And
stuff.
even when you ask somebody what they think about a movie, they approach it as a value proposition, the way I would a restaurant, where it's like, it was good, but it wasn't $300 a head good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it was worth the money that they spent on it, that's how they talk about films now. Instead, you know, back when a matinee was $7, it was okay if the movie was okay.
Well, it was also
and now
okay.
You're like, damn.
It was also okay because you didn't have access to 100,000 options at your fingertips that you're already paying for.
Yeah,
you know, and I think that's the
like film reviews read as like warnings to other consumers now versus a discussion of art. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, did you like your trip to Tokyo? Well, here's how much I spent. It was sort of worth it, not really.
You're right. I just don't know, man. I think it's only going to get worse, and I think that it's
it made me wonder, I guess, all this record industry Grammy talk. Do you think it would be cool or interesting or bad or good if record labels made their budgets public the way movie studios, like, you know, we know that Spider-Man costs $400 million and it has to do XYZ in China just to break even, and another XYZ if we want it to be profitable for the Q4 Ellison blah blah blah.
Yeah.
If we knew, like, okay, Rosalia's got to, you know, do this many streams week one, or else hiring the fucking Duolingo choir and the full-on orchestra, it's going to be a loss later. It's going to be, you know, it was bad for the portfolio. Would you like that?
No, that's what I would like. None of it. I would like less of that. Yeah, I mean, but I do think it does.
Is that
like,
going to be in our near future, whether we like it or not?
I don't know why it's different between like Hollywood and music business, but I feel like
they make it seem like the Hollywood industry is crumbling, and less so than the music industry.
I think it might be worse than the music industry at this point. I think the music industry, whether people like it or not, has been saved by streaming because it benefits the labels more than it does the artist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like they're better off than they were maybe 8 years ago.
I think they're both trying to make both film and music to be quote unquote saved by AI technology, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure look, if you listen to Joe Rogan, it's the only music he listens to now is a 50 Cent AI cover that sounds like, you know, a big brass band. So, I mean, look, anything.
The only people it's saving are the people who own it.
Yeah, I just don't.
It's not saving anyone else.
Yeah. I just think that, I think that the.
Curious to see what Zoran has planned for this.
Yeah, me too. I think he's going to figure it out. He's got a lot of stuff to figure out. So this is probably at the top of the docket, I would assume.
Grammy-wise, Turnstile being nominated a couple times, is that the first hardcore band Grammy nomination, or was there like a Hatebreed or something at some point?
I feel like maybe
metal
I feel like maybe during like the Ozfest era, there was some weird hardcore band that probably
Dillinger, Escape Plan.
Yeah,
something.
but Turnstile, I mean, they got nominated kind of a lot too. I think it's like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be cool if they won a Grammy. I mean, I think it's like I watching that whole thing and the backlash is so funny to me because it's like I just don't understand being an adult man and being mad that something you liked first is successful now when it hasn't really I didn't listen to Turnstile from day one or whatever, but the last 2 or 3 Turnstile records are you can see where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's not like they started off sounding like fucking Warzone and now they sound like Jane's Addiction. Like they sound like Jane's Addiction for 5 or 6 years. It's not crazy.
They're a hardcore band that has a few Ableton sounds going on.
Yeah, I just don't understand. I've seen just a lot of blowback on online being like that, you know, and it's like, dude, like they put out, it feels like to me they're a band that put out what they wanted to and the world happened to get in line with it. And there's nothing you can really do about that, you know, negatively or positively.
Yeah, and if you want your era of old man hardcore to be succeeding, go out there and buy the tickets. I mean, like the biggest hardcore band other than, you know, classically of all time, you could say Gorilla Biscuits maybe. They're getting 10K guarantees to play shows.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you can't.
Why? And Turnstile's getting whatever 200K.
Yeah, Turnstile is very popular, and it's just,
go vote with your dollar.
I would rather Turnstile be popular than a lot of things. I mean, did you see this? Did you see that New York Times is trying to do their own version of NPR Tiny Desk?
No, why not?
Yeah, and you know they launched with fucking snoozer Jay Brecky. And it's just, it looks pretty good, like from a purely aesthetic standpoint. But I was just like, this feels kind of crazy how obvious it is what you're trying to, you know what I mean? Like Adam Friedland's doing it now too. Adam Friedland's doing like in studio, like he had what's his name on? That came on the podcast and was so funny. Cass McCombs, yeah. Cass McCombs on. Like, I guess if you, in Adam's situation, you have like a studio and you like music, like why not? New York Times, obviously you have an office, you have access, why not? But it just feels like, the New York Times specifically feels extremely crazy to do that.
Yeah, but this is what we have to do in order to make money in media, right? We have to make short form video clips that can be,
of course, and I get that, but I think
that's what it is.
You're doing that with Popcast and fucking Young Lean, you know what I mean? Like that's good, interesting stuff to what, like I don't think we need there's KEXP that has already been doing it for fucking years, there's NPR that's been doing it for years, you know, there's BBC, you know, where they do the cover. Like, I just don't know how many more we can do, but because it's the New York Times, of course, they can get anyone to do it.
Yeah, it's been going on forever. Every radio station has done it, but it's just been audio. So now that it's easy to post video.
Yeah, but there's certain ones, but what I'm saying is there's certain ones that have broken through. You know, not just like
sure
ACL, but like KEXP, like I can tell you what that studio looks like because I've watched so many of those, because it's like if Tiny Desk were good, you know? Like it's because it's not, there's no like twee element of like, you know, employees in masks clapping to music they don't like.
Yeah, it really reminds me of when, you know, like the rise of the bedroom producer or the bedroom, you know, director. All I need is my laptop.
Yeah.
And I can make the next Grammy, you know, Skrillex on a laptop, he's getting a Grammy, and all these people are directing music videos with just, I got my camera for Christmas from my mommy and I'm 18 and I'm doing it all. That has now moved from creating the art to now being like a media person. Like I can just create my next On the Radar or the next Boiler Room or whatever, and that's just another form of what you do in the creator economy. You know, it's not like I want to be, some people are like, I want to be a host of the Subway Takes, and some people are like, I want to create something where bands will want me to make music videos for them.
I would love more bands playing, the better, in my opinion. I guess I just mean you can't do the exact, like there's got to be another way. Like I haven't watched the Cass McCombs, but I'm sure his take is like I'm
sure he made it look cool and interesting and unique and to his style.
Yeah, where New York Times, it's literally at a fucking desk. Literally at a desk. I'm like, all right, well, you can't, come on, guys. Like, we can do a little more than that.
Live from the 10th floor.
The clip I saw, she was sitting at a desk.
Okay,
I mean, she's insufferable, so I, you know.
Everyone has to do it. And
everyone has to do it. I mean, at least it doesn't have all the Tiny Desk set with all the little tchotchkes and it being so cute kills me. At least this looks professional.
Yeah, they really are just playing at a desk in a cubicle at the New York Times.
It's crazy. It's the same thing. And I'm literally like New York Times music content. But what I'm saying is like that, what I referenced, the Popcast thing with Young Lean, like I've seen that everywhere this week because it's good. You know, like you didn't need.
Yep.
There's no shtick. It's just like a good interview with a guy who's interesting who doesn't do a lot of interviews. That's what I want from the New York Times.
Cream rise to the top. I agree, bro.
Anyway, all right. How long gone?
What we want doesn't matter.
Oh, God, you're telling me. We will see you on Thursday live on YouTube. We will be interviewing all of the guests at the GQ Man of the Year Awards at the Chateau Marmont. And there'll be more info on that soon.
I got my tux getting pulled out today, Chris.
Nice. I actually went and got a tux yesterday at Sid Mashburn. I don't think I'm going to wear it for this, but I needed it for Matt's wedding, and
Just for life.
A nice experience. I hadn't done that in a long time.
Oh, I guess I'm going to see you in New York at a wedding this weekend.
Yeah, well, I'm going to see you before that in LA, so.
That's a very good point, bro. Super good point. I didn't say we needed to rank what's going to happen.
Yeah, no, you're right. We didn't need to go in
Just
any
in
order.
general. And
I
good
agree.
luck, Brian Johnson, the guy who's trying to live forever by drinking his son's blood. He's experimenting with mushrooms. He's taken 5 grams today, so good luck. Don't die, brother.
Wow. Is that a lot?
Yeah, it's almost double a large.
What you should.
It's considered a God's dose.
Okay,
and maybe
sure.
he has experience with it, but if it's your first time doing it, 5 grams is gonna.
It could be hitting you pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
God bless. I always pray for him every night anyway, so that's fine.
He could
I'll
use a little bit
continue
of
to.
that spray tan from that SNL monologue. Am I right?
Yeah, dude. He needs it. Yeah. Dude, he looks alabaster. All right. HowLongGone.com is the website. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.